strictly where I'm famous. I'm in this for the longest haul, like we'll see where it takes us. I'm throwing back these double shots like whiskey here is weightless. Cause this career I chose was even riskier than Vegas, yo.
Everybody. Oh my goodness. Can you even believe a week has gone by already? I'll tell you what, time flies. I'll tell you, we could do this every day. We couldn't do much, right? But actually, you know what tonight is? Tonight is our very, very special episode. It is our special investigation episode in which we have the authority on so many topics of missing people and connections and awareness, and obviously another psychic medium, Jennifer Shaffer.
Thank you. Thank you, Colby.
Hello.
I always look forward to this, even when it's challenging content.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful space that provides, I believe, a lot of insight to kind of what goes on, well, especially with what we're going to talk about today.
Yes, exactly. And today, you know, that like life, sometimes we have to kind of make quick decisions or go in a different route because, you know, if it's our job to kind of raise awareness or create healing or maybe provide some closure,
right?
We do need to tackle the harder stuff as well sometimes, yeah?
Yep, we sure do.
So we did have another topic scheduled for this evening, but with the passing of Chris Cornell, we decided that this was really critical. We talk about suicide and celebrities, and you know, and again, obviously celebrities get more attention, and that isn't to negate the average non-famous person that takes their life, but you know, by us talking about it as a community, as we will tonight, it will hopefully bring some awareness and maybe some healing and closure, and we'll see where we go with it. Yeah,
absolutely.
So for anyone who doesn't know, Chris Cornell passed away yesterday, right? And it was a suicide. They've declared it to be a suicide, and it was suicide by hanging, and it's tragic. I mean, it's
very much so.
It's sad and it's tragic because from the outside, we look at this as like a brilliant mind and a brilliant artist and a genius and someone who pioneered, you know, music.
The grunge
movement.
Yeah, the grunge movement. But not only that, his last concert, you know, according to everybody that was there, he gave an amazing performance.
Yeah.
You know, so there was no signs to the people that, you know, obviously they didn't really know him,
right,
per se,
right.
But they didn't see any of the signs on stage.
Well, that's
other than the last song.
Other than the last song, which we'll get to in a bit, yes. Right? We will talk about that. But, you know, what's interesting, though, I was reading, you know, I am not a therapist, so by no means not a therapist. But, you know, in these typical symbols or signs that they tell us to notice about someone, I'm not 100% sure that those are always the telltale signs. Because, you know, and I have a theory myself as to why someone appears happy prior to taking their life. I definitely have a personal theory. Not sure if you do as well.
I have another theory, too.
Okay.
Which is interesting about how they push people away because they start detaching.
Right.
So they do things or say things that make people like...
Interesting.
Yeah. So
okay.
they start detaching from people that are close to them.
I see, yes.
You know, but maybe by being nice.
Yes.
Detaching that way. It's kind of the same,
right.
actually.
Right. And, you know, I feel, again, this is, you know, I'm not a therapist, but just whenever...
And neither am I. Neither one of us. We want to make that very clear. There's professionals that help people that are in need of this.
Yes, but, you know, we are empaths, so we can feel the emotions of others, and we certainly are human beings, so we have our own perception and take, too.
Yes.
But I really feel that this euphoric happiness that someone has, you know, when they have that last conversation is, oh, I'm okay and everything's going good. And someone would say, I didn't even suspect it. I think there's two things. I do feel like that happiness comes from the fact that they made a decision. Like they feel lighter now. Like there's an answer now. Do you know what I mean? You know, when you're going back and forth, but finally when you say, I'm going to sell the house, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to, like, there's that resolution in it. And I think that that's where that euphoria comes from.
I agree, which is interesting. Very interesting, especially with this particular, with what happened to Chris Cornell.
Right.
Does the last song mean something?
Yes. And yes.
Is that his happiness?
Well, and I think that, and we will get to the last song. I do think it is we will get to it, but I do feel that it's a message. I do feel that he was clearly telling his fans, his friends, his family not to worry. Really quick, though, just for anyone, we are going to take some callers tonight. But, you know, the idea of the calls tonight is if you have an experience that you would like to share with us, either, you know, a celebrity or a concert or Chris, or a moment where a celebrity was a great moment for you, or was a coming of age, or, you know, something positive, because we want to show what these people bring to our lives. And so if you have a story that you would like to share with us, 323-992-3115, 323-992-3115. And yeah, so there are some other signs too, right? I mean, you know, they give things away. Some, you know, and who knows, right? It's not like a checklist, unfortunately, but
no, it's not. And there's other signs. So like we've discussed, there's been a lot of celebrities that have overdosed, right? Technically, that's not suicide, but you know, they all knew what they were playing with.
Right.
They all knew that that could be a possibility.
Right.
So there's different. Back to your question about what are the signs that, you know, they give. Reckless behavior. You know, that's a very big sign. Drug use, huge sign. Yeah. Because when you are using drugs, you think you could do anything. Right. You know, and I do speak from experience years ago. You get to a point also where if you can't do the drugs, or if people expect you to get off of them and you are having a difficult time, I do feel that a lot of people just can't do it. Yeah. And so they just take it out. Right. You know, but there's so much help. That's another thing we want to talk about. There's so much help out there that's there for people to get help. Right. You know, there's incredible therapists, psychiatrists, doctors that are all there to help anyone that's going through pain. Right. There's always an option other than that, taking it out.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, and again, for me, I don't, just from my perspective, I don't want to say that they took it out. I mean, just because
maybe it's a different terminology.
I'm not in their shoes, and I don't know, but
they don't do it consciously.
Yeah,
they don't do it consciously. Yeah. So they don't. So when I say taken out, I'm saying this in a subconscious manner. I'm not saying that they consciously decide to overdose. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm sorry.
I think it's hard though when, I mean, you know, I've always been so goody two shoes. Like I've never done any drugs. You know, I mean, I think my worst case is if I have 3 glasses of wine and then I'm like, oh, God help me. But literally nothing ever.
That's awesome though. That's wonderful.
But
I can't say that ever.
But it's actually, you know, but that's the wonderful thing is, you know, I think, and I don't know, but through that, you know, I don't think someone tries something in an effort to become addicted, right? It's just that maybe that sense of euphoria, that initial euphoria, draws them in, and then it feels like...
Then it becomes a habit.
And then it becomes
something
And then
serious.
They need it to kind of hit that vibration. Yeah. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Remember how I can say this, I'm 10 years out. I went into a rehab.
Yes.
Okay. On 4/20, the only national drug holiday there is, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I've been 10 years, and I'm very proud of that. I'm incredibly proud of that. It took a lot of effort, and I consider myself one of the fortunate ones that actually made it.
Yes.
Not everybody makes it. A lot of people go back to it, and you and I both have a very good friend, Dr. Drupinski. We hear the stories. We hear the troubles and what it's like.
Yeah.
But can I turn it just real fast to something fun?
Yes.
Okay, my second concert. My first concert was the Go-Go's.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
My second concert was Soundgarden.
Wow.
And he has such, besides his intellect and beauty
Passion.
and his eyes, his voice is so profound.
Yeah.
You know, people love Led Zeppelin because of Robert Plant's voice.
Yes.
His voice is just something that people they just love. And like, you know, this is something that, you know, looking into it, you know how they say music, you know, even when you're gone, the music still plays on.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
It truly is going to be music that we will hear for a long, whether you know Chris Cornell or his music, he's been part of such a huge movement and just was loved by so many people, and that's where we want to hold him.
Yeah.
You know?
And you can tell, like, there are these people. I mean, true that. I mean, true that is there's just, you mentioned his eyes. There is just something in the soul. And it is like
Kurt
this
Cobain.
whole other being. Kurt Cobain. Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
They all, you know, these, Janis Joplin.
Yes.
I mean, there's just being inside. There's just this Amy Winehouse. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
that's right.
There's just inner. There is that, you know, you can. It's almost like you can see the pain of the soul, but yet the beauty of the soul and the hope in the soul. And
right.
I mean, I don't know if it's just because we read souls.
No, well, in order for as it's been known, a lot of comedians, a lot of actors, in order to get into their role, they take on another persona, and a lot of times they have anxiety. A lot of times they do things to control that to get them out of themselves.
Yeah.
And with musicians, a lot of them felt like they could connect with certain things.
Using drugs to even connect, maybe too, right?
Right.
But even as, I tell you what, I think even as psychic mediums, light workers, I mean, I cannot, again, can't speak for you, but I can certainly speak for me, is that I'll definitely go through these bouts of feeling very, very lonely.
Oh gosh, no. Yes, it is. It is very, our profession, because we move so much energy and get so much that by the time that we're done with our work, we don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And so it creates this lonely space. And then half the time, the things that we do, we can't even say.
Yes.
And we can't talk about.
Or, yeah, right. You can't talk about, or even if you can, someone's like, what are you talking about? But there is a lot of reflection, and there is a lot of, not do I want to be here, but I would be honest to say I've asked myself, do I want to be here? I think most humans, is that normal to say most humans have? I mean,
you know what? I
think a lot of us.
Can I give you another take on this?
Yeah.
Do you have time for this?
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 years ago when I was doing my escaping through drugs, I wanted out of here.
Yeah.
I saw things, I would feel things, but nothing. I would hear things, but you don't want to tell anybody that you hear things. It was nothing that made me want to hurt myself. It was so amazing that I thought, why am I here? I'm in so much pain. I had a very serious illness on top of it. And so I'm like, why am I here? Like, I don't want to be here anymore. But the thing is, I've been thinking about suicide since I was a little girl.
Yeah.
And I didn't, luckily being raised Mormon, I knew if I did that, and I wouldn't know how, and there was no reason, I came from such a loving, kind family. It just didn't make any sense, right? Why would I think about suicide growing up? Well, I have a theory, it's just my own theory, that when you're supposed to do something, when you're young, and you're supposed to do something, like if you start dancing, your mom puts you into dance lessons. If you start singing, you go to singing lessons.
Yeah.
You know, when you start thinking about death, you go to a shrink.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or you don't talk about it. But my Mormon family, Mormons, if you commit suicide, that, you know, there was a tell that you wouldn't make it to heaven. So that kept me alive. My Mormon religion kept me alive.
Yeah.
Okay, growing up. So I feel that a lot of people are thinking about the other side, but they don't know they're not supposed to be over there. They're supposed to be working with it.
Yeah.
It's something in you that, you know, of course I didn't even know what mediums were. I didn't even know what they were in my 20s. That I would be doing this work, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that a lot of kids that feel this, it might be because they're working with forensics later, or they might be a doctor later, or they might,
or a therapist.
or a therapist to keep people here. They don't want us on the other side, but they want you to know about it.
Yeah.
They want you here. We don't do them any good by being over there.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, believe me, I had a lot of reflection on why I wanted to leave, and I want to do everything I can not to go there.
Yeah.
Other than skydive, but that's it's a whole different issue.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I think it's about opening up the conversation, and a lot of times too, it's people sharing stories and talking about stories and being vulnerable, because again, we all want to share our happy stuff, but we don't sit there and share if it's just a really, really rough day, like, things like that.
You would have never thought that I use drugs by the way I look or present myself, even though it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to even admit that I've been, drug-free for this long.
I mean, that's amazing.
And so it's I don't know. It's being vulnerable takes a lot.
And I think some things, like Drew was saying yesterday, and and this is really helpful, that there are some people that are depressed. There is a level of depression, but it's kind of undiagnosed.
Yes.
And that's a big key as well, because, that is a chemical imbalance. There's something going on, and it's medical. But people don't talk about it, or people aren't going to see if they're diagnosed as it. And so he said that's a big deal, is that people really need to kind of step up and
say, hey, I need help.
I need help.
And not be embarrassed or ashamed of that.
Yeah. And it's tough. I mean, we, can't get into the minds of everyone. I do feel, because we want to make sense of it, right? The physical world is trying to wrap their heads around things, trying to make sense of things. And I think part of it is somehow, some way, the person that takes their life, I think they honestly feel that they're helping those around them, that they're actually giving and loving, and it'd be easier if I'm not here. It'd be easier on my family or my loved one. Like, I really do feel that.
That is true.
Yeah. They'd be better off without me, so to speak, And, and it's sad. It is sad. It's terribly sad.
You brought me back to a moment in time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See? Oh.
Just like that.
But you're here.
Fascinating.
You see?
Yes, I am.
You are here.
I am.
Look at that. And we need you.
Well, my family certainly doesn't need me for cooking.
No, true. So again, if anybody wants to kind of call in and talk to us tonight, 323-992-3115. We'll keep the lines open if you want to try to give us a holler. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about that last song. And and it's interesting. I'm not a big believer in coincidences, and I do believe that things are intended or said or done, and they have meaning. And the last song, supposedly, the last song that he played last night was a Led Zeppelin cover, "In My Time of Dying." And I wrote down a few of the lyrics. I won't go through the whole song or anything, but a few of the lyrics. "In my time of dying, I want nobody to mourn. All I want for you to do is take my body home. Well, 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 so I can die easy. Jesus going to make up. Jesus going to make up my dying bed. Meet me, Jesus, meet me. Meet me in the middle of the air. If my wings should fail me, Lord, please meet me with another pair." And I think it's incredible. I feel that he was trying to tell people, don't be sad.
Yeah.
That's tough. I mean, how can you not be?
Right.
How can you not be sad about any of the losses, about any of the bright lights?
I took it really hard when Robin Williams passed.
Yes.
I took it so hard. I cried. I mean, I had to, like, I was devastated. I'm like, he was so brilliant. I loved him in all of his movies.
Yeah.
But like, just like music, music lives on. So do movies.
Yeah.
They don't end when they're gone. They live on too.
Yeah.
I have to say, I just learned that today, actually, when talking Rich Martini, talking to Mr. Martini.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
It's that's the thing though. If, a few of the other signs, again, are there, is it like a bullet point? I don't think it is. I think it's different for each person. It's different for their experience.
Absolutely.
Some people are going to quote unquote hide it better than others. And I do think some of the signs, it may be giving something away. They're like, they want to make sure that this person has something, or to make sure that their space is kind of cleaned up.
Yeah.
Maybe make sure some things are in place. But, we actually have a phone call. How about we take a call? Yeah. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Let's see. 845. This is Colby and Jennifer Shaffer. Who is this?
Hi, Colby. It's Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
Oh, we're doing okay. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. Do you have something you want to share?
I just have to say I'm so happy you're doing this topic. I'm so happy that you're doing this. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anything you want to share with us at all, or story, or personal experience?
You've lost.
Actually, I recently, this has been a very rough year, and I recently lost someone very, very close to me, and I was hoping one of you can pull them through tonight.
Yeah, well, I think we both felt someone come through.
Like somebody close to you.
Do you want me to start, Jen, or do you want to start?
Go ahead.
Are you sure? Suzanne, the first word I heard was husband, but it didn't quite feel like this was your husband. But am I right that it's a male in spirit that you're kind of was hoping to connect to?
Yes, it's definitely a male, yeah.
Okay, and would you understand either him being a husband or there's a connection to a husband for you? Does that make sense? I don't know why he keeps talking about this. Significant other. So do you understand that connection as well?
I do understand that.
Okay.
It has to do more with something of the proof of the living mind. He's showing me something that's going on in my life right now.
Okay, you got that then. Okay. I get this feeling he doesn't feel very old though when he passes. Is that right? Like he feels like he's a little younger. Okay. And
You're correct.
And it's just like, I don't know, he's so close to you, like a son. I don't again,
Is your son?
That's what we felt. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Correct.
You want to go?
He just made the dog
like a
bark.
son, yes.
Yeah, the dog is right. The dog is like, exactly. Do you want to go, Jen? Or
go ahead.
Okay, so your son. I mean, first of all, here's the interesting thing: we can barely get on your. You can barely make the call through without your son popping in. So it's very clear that he's letting you know he is around, right? He's also letting us know this passing feels quick. He's also giving this sense, though, again, we were talking about these charismatic, fun. We wouldn't have known, like, it doesn't seem like we would have known something was up. Does that make sense? Like, I wouldn't have known that I was needed to do something. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Correct.
Is there somebody really? Is there somebody really at your door?
Or is that just God ringing the doorbell on us?
No. I have an alarm on my door, and that's my dog coming in and out of the house.
Oh,
Go ahead,
that's
I'm sorry.
so
Keep going.
funny. Okay.
Is there an anniversary or a birthday that's happening? He keeps on mentioning like an anniversary.
Oh my God! Yes, it's coming. Yes, it will be. Yes, the anniversary of his death.
Okay.
Correct.
Is it in June?
No.
Okay.
It's more towards the end of the summer, but the summer months were like the worst. It was
right.
So it was
if you
this
got
time
June,
of year things happen.
Right. So if you got June, that's probably when things started going down.
Maybe. I wrote down June 11th. Do you have a connection to June 11th at all?
Yes. That was probably the time really that was probably around the last time I saw him. alive was in the hospital. Yes, that's very significant. Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Jen.
So what he wants to say is that he's okay. That's
Yes.
the first thing he wants to say is that he's okay.
Yes.
He also wants to mention, I think there's like either a little sister or somebody
Yes.
that he left behind that he knows is really distraught over this as well. He also wants to let her know, please let her know that she's going to be okay and that he's her guardian angel. Okay? I believe that somebody put something on their wrist because of him. I don't know if it's a tattoo or...
Yes,
Okay.
his mother got his
mother.
name.
Yeah.
My sister is his mother. Yes, and she has his name tattooed on her hand.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then there's something with somebody's back as well. I don't know if they got another tattoo on the back or somebody's thinking about that. But
I have a tattoo on my back.
back.
I'm the one with the tattoo on my back.
Okay. Hold on. He doesn't want you to
Wow.
add. He doesn't want you to add to it. Okay.
Okay.
And he does love playing with your dogs, by the way. He absolutely loves that. There was also something, and I don't know if his little sister is making, I don't know if it's about school or going to like a certain school. There's decisions that have to be made after summer.
She just landed a really fabulous job in New York City.
Awesome.
Good for
Is she
her.
okay? So I said school because she feels young. So is she? Hold on. He says it's going to be the best thing ever, and that she will feel him even there. I think that she's a little bit afraid of not feeling him, but it's wherever her heart is. That's the frequency that she can call him up on. Okay. And he adores you, and he's saying, thank you for helping your sister. Thank you. His mom.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to have her watch this. Thank you guys so
You're welcome,
much. You're
Suzanne.
fabulous.
You're
Thank
welcome. Yeah. Do you know a Dan, Suzanne, or is there a D that you know, a Dan or a David? And I'm.
Danielle, yes. Oh
Who's
my
that?
God, yes. Danielle is his girlfriend's name, and she just recently had his baby after he passed.
I put. Oh my God! I put. Look at that. Okay, well,
Dan, yes.
you don't know, but look, I put a plus sign. I have a plus sign. I put a plus sign. Isn't that a plus sign when you're pregnant?
Yes.
You're right. I've never done. No hope there, Suzanne, for me. But yeah. So he's acknowledging. Oh, that's wonderful. And I agree with Jen. He's letting he's letting the family know that he's okay, and that he is around you, and yeah.
Wow.
He's a good kid. He is. He's a good.
He was amazing. He had the biggest heart.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So
biggest heart.
He still does.
I do hope that helps, Suzanne. I do hope that helps, and
thank you, Colby.
Yes,
it does. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thanks for calling in. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, her son was very strong, right?
Yeah.
And it's again, it's hard. I mean, there is this feeling though. Don't you feel like so the thing is when they come through, for me, it's like usually like this happy feeling. Like, oh, hey, I'm happy to see you. Hey, so it's hard to for us to kind of get in that deep sad
I know they always come through usually with jokes too.
Yeah, like they're just because they're okay. They're okay, and I think we worry about them in the living, and I do feel that they're okay. Yeah. Let's take another call. Yeah. Okay, so let's do 951 there. 951. Hey, 951, this is Jennifer Shaffer and Colby. Who is this?
This is Mariko. How are you guys?
Good, Mariko. How you doing, babe?
Good.
Hi, Mariko.
I was listening to you guys about your celebrity stories and suicide, and I just wanted to share. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry already.
Oh, share your story, sweetie, please.
When I was younger, I always had those thoughts, and I always just never wanted to be here because I had such a terrible childhood. And the thing that saved me the most was music.
Oh.
And it was really. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
No, please do not
Hey,
apologize.
I already cried once.
I'm sorry.
No, this is good. This is healing for you.
Yeah, you know what? It's been an adventure, and ever since my friend has gotten me hooked onto your guys' show, I can feel like the weight coming off of my shoulders.
Oh.
And I think your shows have actually changed me and have made me a better person. But as far as like celebrities and stuff go, there were a few songs when I was a kid, like Mariah Carey's "Can't Take That Away From Me," kind of just brought my spirit back up and made me feel like it's okay to be different.
Yes. Yes.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And since then I started doing like musicals and shows myself, and I actually met a couple of friends that committed suicide. And I just want everyone to know that there's stuff out there that still make you happy, and there's still people that love you.
Oh.
That is a great thing that's wonderful to hear. It is absolutely true. There's always somebody that's going to love you and not to feel so alone.
And I just wish that they saw their chapels when they had their services, how much they were loved, and that no matter what happens, if they do pass on, or if they, continue with whatever troubles they have, that there's always going to be so many people around them and so many people that love them.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And it's, and it's hard. I mean, you can feel you're sensitive and you're hurt, and it's, but the other thing is using your experiences, Mariko, to help others, to keep helping others and sharing your story like you are right now.
Being an advocate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I even put the National Suicide Hotline on your guys' comments below to make sure that, everyone has somewhere that they can reach out to.
Thank you. Yeah, and we created a slide as well. So everyone take a look at the screen, take a look at the slide. And, that's a place where you can call and you can get help and you can reach out. And, sometimes you just need a few minutes of having someone listen, and maybe that can make all the difference.
Did you have a girlfriend? You had a girlfriend that passed, that committed suicide?
I had a male friend that passed.
You do, because there's a female that's here though, and she has like longer blonde hair, and I felt like she showed up when we started talking to you. So I don't know if this is I don't know if it's. Give me a second.
I'm not sure.
It could be, it could be related to somebody you know. And so maybe it wasn't your friend, but it was somebody else's friend. I believe she died from suicide.
Is it long blonde hair?
Yes. Yes, and so I don't know if it's a family member's friend, maybe somebody that you didn't know, but she came through giving support basically for what you said about that you're never alone. Look into music, find things that make you happy, get laughter into your life. And you know what? It takes a lot to be unique and different. It's a lot easier to just go and be the same as everybody else, but it takes a really different heart and mindset to be different. And it's wonderful that you could do that. Yeah, so props to you.
I'm just really surprised I got through, because I hung up like 5 times.
Well, see,
because I got so nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous.
Well, you were meant to get through. Your message was meant to be heard this evening. And I can guarantee you that someone who listened to you tonight got a little bit of healing or inspiration, definitely a message from you as well. Okay, Mariko?
Thank you so much, Mariko.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, have a good night, hon.
You too.
I appreciate the honesty that, it's not easy to say I was an addict. Right. There was a point I didn't want to be here. Yeah. Or she says I didn't want to be here, and it took Mariah Carey to make me want to live. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Not easy.
No.
I used to have a thought, this is terrible, and I won't, but honestly, I used to share a room and have bunk beds, and I felt so different. I was so odd. And I'm still odd out there, but now I just made it a brand. So that was my savior. But, I felt so odd and out of it, and I think the one thing people don't know about me is how bullied I was as a kid. I mean, to the point I did not want to be here. And if it weren't for the fact that I wasn't creative enough, because I didn't want to, I just couldn't think of something that wouldn't be messy or that wouldn't hurt my mom's feelings. And so that was it. I mean, literally, that was it. Was like, well, that would be messy. I don't want to do that. I never wanted to overdose on drugs because I thought, well, what if I didn't take enough and then I'm a vegetable? Then I'm, really
somebody else's responsibility.
Yeah, yes. Honestly though, but and I think that's just. I think there's a part of it, just because you have those thoughts doesn't, I think there's a natural part of us, that looks at things and goes inward or investigates or asks, do we want to be here, right? And then there are those, I think, where it's definitely more severe, and definitely they need some professional help and guidance.
Absolutely. Anytime you have those thoughts, you should get help.
Reach out and talk to someone.
And don't be afraid to talk. Yeah.
It's tough though. I mean, now, we just gotta, in one way, it's a more open topic. In one way, it's a tougher topic because it's kind of like nothing is private anymore either, right?
Right.
So it makes it tough. And we're going to go into that in another episode. But I do think we've got some more calls. What do you think? We take another call?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take another call. We have, 818 there? All right, 818. This is Colby and Jennifer Shaffer.
Hello,
Who is this?
Hi, Colby. Jackie.
Hi, Jackie. How are you?
Hi, Jackie.
Good. How are you?
Doing well. So tonight we're talking about inspiration or stories that you want to share, or someone who, just for the topic of taking your life or suicidal thoughts. Just we want to try to create some healing. So do you have any particular questions or anything that you want to talk about?
I just want to say something. I've gone through depression myself. And I have thought about it, but just thinking at the moment when you think about it, I just want to say, if you just put yourself in your loved one's shoes, that will stop you from doing.
That's a wonderful, wonderful thing to say.
And my kids, they were the only ones that kept.
Oh. She's cutting out. Jackie, just so you know, you're cutting out, so we actually can't hear your audio. We can hear your pain and your healing, but we can't hear you're cutting in and out. So,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can. We can hear you a little bit now. Try to stay right where you are. So let's see if that works.
Okay.
Okay.
Just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
And also, I wanted to see if you can connect to my grandma. She came to my dream last night, and she wanted to say something, but my dream was very chaotic, and I couldn't make it out. And I was just wondering if you guys can see what she was trying to tell me.
I just got the underlying theme of love. She was just trying to bring through love in your chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, just this feeling of that, allowing things to work out. I do. It does feel like there's just a lot you're trying to work out.
Right.
There's a lot of stress around you, a lot of worry around. And I feel like she's just coming forward to kind of ease that worry that you've been having. You understand that, Jackie?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Have you seen a good therapist, sweetheart?
Not right now.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in, sweetheart. We really appreciate your comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Jackie, think like that's a great suggestion, Jennifer. Maybe Jackie, we all need someone we can talk to.
All of us do.
Yeah.
All of us do.
Maybe that is just time to kind of reach out to see if there's someone that can help.
Absolutely.
And but know that we're here with you, and we really, really, really do appreciate you calling in. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Bye, hon.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. It's I'll tell you, it's hard. It's hard when we feel. One way, you feel their pain and you feel their sadness, right?
Right.
But I have to be honest. When I hear them cry, it makes, I don't know the right word, but it makes, I don't know if I want to say it makes me feel good. I don't know if that's the right word, but I know there's healing happening in that moment.
Absolutely.
And that makes me happy. Like even in that moment, then there's change, like in those words, in that moment, there is change happening.
They're changing their energetic field.
Yeah.
And that in return will change what's going on in
I
your
hope
conscious
so.
mind.
Yeah.
Little by little. But that's why it's good to have someone to talk to as get a therapist. I'm big proponents, all of us, of therapists.
Yeah.
Even we need somebody to talk to.
Yes, we do.
know?
We do.
It's,
Yes.
You don't, again, like with what the other caller, Monique, what's her name?
Oh, yeah.
She,
Yeah.
She said you're not alone.
Right.
There's always someone that loves you.
Yeah.
And look into music.
Yeah, and music is
Wonderful.
right. Music can be so healing. And
how many times do our loved ones show us music as signs?
Yes.
Right, Michelle?
Yes.
I mean, it was pretty funny. She was working out. I'll just tell a quick story. She was working out today, and Prince came on.
Oh, yeah.
And who else came on?
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston.
Oh, geez. Oh, wow.
So
3 in a row. It was Prince, Whitney Houston, and then Michael Jackson. I'm
Wow.
like, what?
So
What?
crazy.
yeah.
So crazy. And there is it's like they're giving us such gifts. Even now, they're just giving us such gifts, right?
Yeah.
And
they are.
that's it. So someone asked. Yeah, maybe we have different thoughts on this. Let's see. But someone asked on Facebook if there is a purgatory. I have a very strong answer to that.
So do I.
Okay. Do you want to go
We're
first?
playing chicken. I have the only purgatory I've ever seen is them showing how they felt here.
Yes,
Never. I've never seen hell on the other side.
No.
I have not seen that. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but we've given thousands,
Yes.
literally thousands of readings. I've never once seen purgatory, ever.
I agree with you.
I believe that it's part of the heart when you feel like you're trapped here on this, and I mean that when you're alive, not
Yes.
not like roaming around like what you
Yes.
I mean when you're alive.
I agree. I don't think there's a purgatory either. I do feel that there's way too much love and light, and even with people that may not have done the best things.
Right.
When they cross, they got to work on it. They got to look at it. They got to reflect on it.
Right.
But to me, this purgatory, is
the idea
really
of that.
this physical world, and the stuff we deal with in the physical world, maybe more so than on the other
Yes.
side, for sure. And then after a traumatic death, is there a rehabilitation on the other side? Rehabilitation, well, I mean,
in their energy fields.
yeah,
I think our energy field holds all the answers, right?
Yeah.
From our soul, but that's a whole different topic.
yeah.
But
But those are great questions. I think that my feeling is when we cross, when our soul, I do believe it's our soul. I believe our soul stays around. I don't believe our soul reincarnates soon. I do, but I do believe that we look at our life and we look at what we did and we look at our experiences and could I have done this better, or I did great on that, or we look at where our focus was and what we could do better. But I don't really feel like rehabilitation. Can we learn? Of course we can learn.
It's just a word thing.
Yeah.
I believe a word.
Can we learn? Of course. So, but there's another question. Are there different levels a soul goes through? I think so. I mean, I think there's different levels of our physical presence. So how can there not be on a soul, right?
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe that, you know, what makes up our soul, which is the different versions of us, go through different experiences. Why would you want to have vanilla every day?
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to go through the same experience?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
those are really, you know, the questions
great
are really
questions.
great, you guys. So we really do appreciate that. Absolutely. And, you know, really appreciate the callers calling in and asking us and telling us and sharing their intimate feelings and emotions. Because, again, I think the first step we can do in being our best little humans possible is being vulnerable and sharing.
yes, absolutely. That actually opens up the heart.
Yeah.
It opens up the heart. And when you open up the heart, then you can receive love. And if you don't do that, if you don't allow yourself to be a little bit vulnerable, then how are you going to receive it?
Yeah.
You know?
Side note, psychic hit all of a sudden. I think Jennifer should do meditation CDs. I think that they would be great.
Okay, Colby.
Yeah.
Get out of my head. First of all, I didn't give you the right to look in, but we have this little thing that we're open books. So let me tell you something. Today, what came through when I every Thursday, this filmmaker, and you know who he is, Richard Martini, he films me. And we were talking about meditate. He's like, we were actually looking into suicide and what they think over on the other side. And Richard's just like, you know, they gotta meditate. That's what they have to. I'm like, you're not talking to the right audience. When you're doing drugs or want to leave the planet, you tell them to meditate, they're gonna flip you off. They're not gonna hear that same language.
Right.
So they were saying, change the word of meditation. And so that's why you're getting it, because we talked about this the whole way up.
Wow.
And I couldn't figure out the word. So Richard, he said, what came through was anticipation. So go into anticipation. Okay? The action of anticipating something, expectation or prediction, has to do with, you know, when instead of going there and just trying to meditate, go in and then just see what happens.
Okay, yeah.
Anticipate something's going to happen versus some people have the wrong take on meditation unless you study it. And I'm not trying to compare, you know, this is just something that came through. But if you anticipate something's going to happen versus meditate where you're not supposed to think anything, right? And you're supposed to, you know, and like I said, believe me, I know people study it, they do it, they're very well versed in it. But anyway, so meditation is a big deal. We are just trying to maybe change what that is for people that need it in a different way.
See, I love that. And
That's
maybe
so
it wasn't me
funny.
tapping it. Maybe that spirit saying, "Excuse me, we're trying to talk to you."
Oh my goodness.
Well, my goodness. I mean, that is our time. I mean, that completely flew by today. It absolutely did. Wow. And to Chris's family and friends and fans, you know, our deepest condolences.
He will be sorely missed.
And but he is a love, and he is a light, and he is a soul that will certainly live on. And to any of you who have a loved one in spirit, just hope that that this episode today does help and bring some healing and hope to your life and your experience as well. Yeah, Jen?
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure we put the hotline up there.
Yes,
again.
please. Let's just finish with that. Great, Jen. Thank you. Yeah. All right, everybody. That is about it. So have a great night.
Have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much.
You'll see us next month, yeah?
Yes, next month.
All right. It's a very special episode next month.
Yes, very special.
We're working on it already. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Sometimes I feel like a star, but only strictly where I'm famous. I'm in this for the longest haul, like we'll see where it takes us. I'm throwing back these double shots like whiskey here is weightless. Cause this career I chose was even riskier